Okay, this is going to be the third part of the sequence demos. This is going to be like much more advanced version. The progress from part 1 to part 2 is not a lot, but the progress from part 2 to this right here is pretty nice. So I'm excited to show what I've been working on and all the new features I've added and such. So let's open it. That's new right there, the opening. Custom intro. That TV static was actually like a GIF with the sound file playing over it. You can notice I added controller support. This is done in the library where I have a JPEG and it's all the dependencies in there, including functions like Rumble. So I've added Rumble. Right now there's Rumble on the menu tabs. I'm using the Xbox controller. It works with a lot of other controllers, the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, but I like the Xbox one the most. And I do play it with the D-pad. I like it more than the arrow keys on the keyboard. The settings remain the same. I haven't added anything too crazy. Items are new. I'm gonna give a quick run through. Won't do too much commentary. I just want to show the game in its current state, and then I'll begin talking about all the features shortly after. The Mega Man drawing is just a test, you know. I'm not actually gonna keep Mega Man there. I'm gonna draw. I'm still not too sure if I want to make it this same animation. I might just change the animation entirely. And if I do keep it that way, I'll change the Mega Man to like either the main character right here. Oh shoot! Oh no! Oh no! Either the main character or I'll make a enemy. Each enemy is gonna have their own design. I think that one would be nicer. Keeps it more of a variety. Same with the defeat enemy bested. It's pretty boring, but we're gonna work on it later. All the art is done by me. Sounds are got them from freesound.org. I love that website. I'll credit all of those. They're all CC0, so technically I don't have to credit, but I'm going to credit every creator of the sounds and soundtracks if I do release the game. But otherwise, all the art is done by me. Everything else is done by me. Get this room done, and then I'll begin talking about the game. I just want to show the shop real quick. I'm gonna update the shop. It's pretty boring right now, and it's not that like what's the word? It's not like I guess intuitive. It's kind of boring and like not that useful right now. But you can buy hearts. Oops. That's something I need to fix, is the hitboxes. Okay, so one of the newest additions is the items. Items are going to be pickups. I'm thinking of adding a leveling system. When you level up, you can like select from an item, kind of like Vampire Survivors. And you can improve the item as you keep leveling up. But for now, they're just like, you can select them from the main menu just for testing purposes. So I want to show poison. So the way the poison works is when you keep the rhythm up. I call it build up, that bar below it. As you get that build up, when it fulfills, you will proc the poison. And if you notice, when it does proc, there is an effect that shows, and the health starts ticking down. Not just that, there's a cool effect when there's an animation. It's only 2 frames, 3 frames actually. I drew them in Krita. I do all my art in Krita. It's an open source platform. I love their brush engine. I use drawing pad, so I like it more than things like Inkscape and GIMP, which use mathematical formulas. The brush engine in Krita is just amazing. Even though it's just pixel art, all the other art I do is in Krita. So yeah, the build-up, the way this game, I guess, not necessarily works, but the big theme about it is your cadence. If you can keep that rhythm going and keep a steady, fast flow, everything's just gonna come to you like naturally. It's just gonna feel really good to play the game, because the cadence, it's the center of the game. You keep your flow up, you deal more damage, you get more build up, you fight the time, and you build up your own health. So there's 4 systems that your rhythm goes into: dealing damage, fighting against the time, fighting against your own death right here, and using your items. And it's all visually enhanced by the animations, as well as the sprite down here. It has a combo sort of animation. I want to improve it more right now. It's just 2 punching frames and a finisher frame, which is like a downward attack. Oh, I just lost. Put her on key. I'm gonna update this. I don't die a lot, so I never really think about it. So that's poison. The next one's initial surge. This item, you deal 20% more damage when the enemy's time is at 50% or higher. So check this out. When the health is at, sorry, not the health, when the timer is at 50% or higher, the animation starts playing. When it stops playing, that's when the timer is below 50% and your buff is no longer active. So that's one of the ways this game is visually helping. Here, let me just die there. I'm gonna put it on the Echo, because, or no, Berserker, I'm sorry, because you can't refill time on the Berserker. It's one of the types of enemies. So you'll notice on the potential damage counter, the green, I'm sorry, not the green, the yellow is your initial surge boost, which is 20% increase. Notice that since the time is below 50%, I didn't get that boost there, but now it's back up, so I should get the boost. And notice you'll keep the damage boost if you dealt the damage while they were at 50% or above. So check this out. So I'll deal some damage. I have the boost, it's active, and then once it reaches 50%, it's inactive, but I'll still keep the boost. So it encourages players to get as much damage as they can in during the first portion of the fight. Now we're back with both items. You'll just feel super overpowered right now. That's not the point of the game. It's supposed to be a pretty hard game, but I still need to tweak the difficulties and make it a little harder. Add some boss fights, different types of enemies, leveling system. But you can see, like, everything works together super nice. All the systems revolve around, wow, I'm terrible at my own game, wow. Revolve around how fast and how rhythmically you can maneuver your way through these enemies. So this is all Java Swing. I'm gonna turn the items off just to showcase what do I want to show now? The health system. Earlier, I'm actually gonna turn the volume down. It's pretty loud for me. I know the video won't be too loud, but for me, I like to hear myself talk. Okay. And I'll talk about the sound design in a little bit. Now I want to talk about the health system. Your health will gradually go down at a steady rate, which you can fight against as you input correct keys in the sequence. Similar to the time, if I go back, I'll put it on the drone. The drone's your basic type of enemy. You can fight the time against them. So check this out. Their time is going down. As I input correct keys, I fight the time and it'll go upwards. And as I put a correct sequence in, it'll shoot upwards. And you'll notice a similar thing happening with my health. My health goes down, but I can combat that slightly. And if you're fast enough, you might even be able to just stay at where you were, if not go ahead and heal yourself, literally. Earlier, in previous prototypes, the health system was made so that when you put in incorrect key, like now, you would lose half a heart. And when your timer went out, when you got a timeout is what I call it, you would lose an entire heart. It wasn't very, it was simple, but it wasn't very intuitive, I guess. It wasn't fun that way. It felt too formulaic. I like the steady tick rate that you lose health at, that you can fight against. It makes it feel more dynamic, more alive, just like the rest of the game. Not to mention the vibrations. I don't know if I talked about them already, but everything has those haptics. So when you enter an encounter, it vibrates. When you input keys, there's a nice pulses. When you fulfill a sequence, there's a stronger vibration. Similar to when you hit an incorrect note, like right now. Not only do you get that visual indicator and the sound playing, but you'll also feel it within your controller. So that's one thing I love about controllers. I grew up playing on consoles. I just love using controllers more than computers and keyboards. The controller, I don't know if I mentioned, it's native right now to the Mac OS ARM64, because that is what I'm developing on. But if I do want to put it on other platforms, if I do want to make a Steam release, I will gear towards inputting like my own native controller functions, because I'm not a big fan of the Steam like third-party controller, because all it does is bind your keys to a controller. But what I could do is do those custom vibrations and everything. So that's what I like about that. Let's turn this sound up. I want to talk about the sound. The sounds are just like a big part of the game, without sound it just feels 100% more like dead. Music starts playing. This is your general dungeon music. When you enter an encounter, you'll hear a handoff. And you'll hear the specific enemy's OST. Their own soundtrack. Each enemy has their own track playing. And you'll hear it fade in and out as you defeat an enemy as you enter the encounter. So right now when I kill this reveal right here, you'll hear it fade out during the transition and fade into the dungeon music. Similar thing with the shop. Or actually, this is one thing I do need to fix. The shops are locked out when you finish the encounter or the room, so it's something I do need to change. I'm gonna redo the entire shop. I'm not a big fan of it. I think the items in here are like trivial. I don't really care for them. Might actually get rid of the shop entirely. I'm thinking of just doing a leveling system, sort of like Vampire Survivors. Each track is looping, so when you enter an encounter, there's no guarantee that it'll just start from the beginning. It is going to play from any second in that song. So every encounter feels fresh. Doesn't just start from the beginning of the track. So that's the game so far. Thanks for watching.